1975. Rock was everywhere, pouring out of car radios, stadium speakers and smoky bar stages. This was the year riffs got nastier, choruses got bigger, and bands cemented themselves into legend. Stick around, because you'll hear some tracks that might just send you straight back to the summer of 75. And if you're into rock history deep dives, hit subscribe now so you don't miss the next trip back in time. Number 12. Lynyrd Skynyrd, Saturday Night Special. Forget sing-along anthems. This 1975 cut from Nothing Fancy is pure grit. Ronnie Van Zant isn't glorifying firearms, he's laying down a warning about cheap Saturday night pistols and the havoc they cause when tempers boil. Ed King's guitar slices through with sharp metallic bite, while Collins and Rossington lay down a smoky southern groove that feels dangerous from the first note. The steady backbeat ticks like a clock counting down to last call in a rowdy dive. It might not have the fame of Sweet Home Alabama, but for diehards, this is Skynyrd's rawest warning shot, and it still echoes loud. Number 11. Fleetwood Mac, Rhiannon. By 1975, Fleetwood Mac was about to become a cultural force, and Rhiannon was Stevie Nicks' grand entrance, inspired by a Welsh witch. It drips with mystery. Buckingham's chiming guitar riff sets the stage, McVie's bass anchors the groove, and Nick's voice cast the spell. Live, she delivered it with wide-eyed intensity, a shawl swirling around her like a midnight mist. This was more than a song. It was a character introduction for one of rock's most captivating frontwomen. The single didn't just mark Fleetwood Mac's reinvention, it turned Nicks into a rock icon and made Rhiannon a permanent setlist staple. Number 10. Nazareth, Hair of the Dog. Now you're messing with a son of a bitch. Not exactly subtle, but Nazareth never claimed to be. This title track from their 1975 album Hair of the Dog is a snarling, swaggering slice of hard rock attitude. Dan McCafferty's gravelly voice feels like it's been marinated in whiskey and cigarette smoke, while Manny Charlton's guitar riff hits like a steel boot to the ribs. It's heavy enough to scare the neighbours, catchy enough to hum in the shower. While it wasn't a huge US chart hit, it became a classic rock radio staple. Proof that, sometimes, one great riff is all you need. Number 9. Bad Company, Feel Like Making Love.
Baby, if I think about you.
Paul Rodgers could probably sing the phone book and still make it soulful, but here he's got something a little more potent. The song begins as a tender, slow burn ballad before exploding into one of the most satisfying riffs of the decade. Mick Ralph's guitar sounds like thunder rolling over an open plain, and Simon Kirke's drums crash in like waves hitting the shore. Released on their Straight Shooter album, it was a reminder that Bad Company could shift from smooth to savage in an instant. This wasn't just a love song, it was a masterclass in light and shade rock dynamics. Number 8. Aerosmith, Sweet Emotion. Aerosmith had been building momentum, but Sweet Emotion was the moment they went from barroom contenders to arena kings. That talkbox intro from Joe Perry oozes cool, Tyler's vocal drips with attitude, and Tom Hamilton's bass line struts like it owns the place. By the time the outro jam takes off, it's pure rock and roll chaos, the good kind. Released as the lead single from Toys in the Attic, it was their first top 40 hit, and it's easy to hear why. Sweet Emotion is sweaty, funky, and a little dangerous. The perfect combination for a band about to conquer the world. Number 7. John Lennon, Ain't That a Shame.
You make me cry when you say.
On his rock and roll covers album, John Lennon stripped things down and let loose. His take on Fats Domino's Ain't That a Shame is raw, loose and gloriously unpolished. The sound of a legend just having fun with a band in a room. Recorded during the infamous Lost Weekend period, it's Lennon with the Beatle polish stripped away, replaced with gritty guitar licks and pounding drums. It's not about reinvention, it's about celebrating the joy of rock and roll in its most basic form. Proof that even one of the biggest icons in music could still just jam. Number 6, Steely Dan, Black Friday. Steely Dan were known for their jazz sophistication, but Black Friday's them at their most straight-ahead rock. From the Katie Lyde album, it's a cynical story about fleeing to Australia after a financial collapse.
Don't let it fall on me.
Delivered over a groove that's perfect for windows-down driving. Larry Carlton's guitar solos sting with bluesy precision, Becker and Fagen's rhythm section snaps like a live wire, and the whole track moves with a sly confidence. It may not be as celebrated as Re-Reel in the Years, but it's proof that Steely Dan could rock when they felt like it, without losing their cool. Number 5, Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run. Four and a half minutes that sound like freedom itself. Bruce didn't just write a song, he wrote an escape plan for every kid stuck in a small town. Clarence Clemens' saxophone bursts like fireworks, Max Weinberg's drums pound like a runaway train, and the wall of sound production makes it feel bigger than life. Released in August 75, it became Springsteen's defining anthem and helped put him on the cover of Time and Newsweek in the same week. Born to Run wasn't just played on the radio, it lived there, burning itself into the DNA of American rock forever. Number 4, Eagles, One of These Nights.
One of these nights.
The title track of their 1975 album, One of These Nights, showed the Eagles could be dark and seductive. Don Felder's guitar shimmers, Randy Meisner's bass line pulses like a heartbeat, and Don Henley's vocal wraps it all in a moody haze. Glenn Frey called it their best song ever, and it's easy to hear why. It's California rock with a midnight edge. The single hit number 1 on the Billboard charts, proving that a rock song could be both slick and soulful. Perfect for a long nighttime drive, with the road stretching endlessly ahead and the stereo cranked. Number 3, Kiss, Rock and Roll All Night, live. The studio version was fine, but it was the Alive recording that made this an anthem. Capturing the chaos and sweat of a real Kiss show, the live cut feels explosive, raw, and just sloppy enough to feel dangerous. Paul Stanley leads the crowd like a preacher at a rock and roll revival, Ace Frehley's guitar screams, and the chant of rock and roll all night becomes a mission statement. This is more than a song, it's an invitation to join the party, no matter how long it lasts. From here on, Kiss wasn't just a band, they were a movement. Number 2, Foghat, Slow Ride. 7.5 minutes of pure, unhurried groove. Slow Ride isn't in a rush. It wants you to settle in, crank it up, and let the bluesy riff just roll over you. Dave Peverett's vocals ride atop Rod Price's slide guitar, with the rhythm section locking into a pocket so deep you could get lost in it. Released at the tail end of 75, it became Foghat's signature song and a staple of every classic rock playlist. Whether you're driving a country back road or hanging in the garage with friends, Slow Ride still feels like a perfect way to waste time. Number 1, ZZ Top, Tush. Clocking in at just over 2 minutes, Tush proves you don't need length for impact. Billy Gibbons' riff is sharp enough to cut steel, Dusty Hill's bass and Frank Beard's drums lock in like a piston engine, and the whole track just barrels forward with Texas swagger. Released on Fandango in July '75, it became ZZ Top's first top 20 hit and a permanent live closer. It's boogie rock at its most distilled, loud, cheeky and impossible to resist. You don't just listen to tush, you move to it. Short, sweet and straight to the point, just like rock should be. 1975 was a monster year for rock, and these songs prove it. Which one still gets you cranking the volume? Let me know in the comments. And if you love rediscovering the tracks that made rock history, hit subscribe and join me next time as we dig into another year of unforgettable riffs and stories.